Hey, how's it going? This is Jason, and today we're going to go over integrated restorative movement therapy. What are the concepts that we follow? How does it work? What are you going to go through when you come on in? And all that good fun stuff for you. So here we go. All right, so the first concept of integrated restorative movement therapy that we're going to go over is the chiropractic concept. So, most of you that have gone into a chiropractic, you kind of know what this concept is. And this is that the nervous system is affected by the way that the skeletal system holds it. So we see the nervous system right here. And we can see that as the nervous system passes through all these little holes in the vertebra, if the skeletal system is off and if it's alignment, it's going to kind of pinch on those. I want you to think this a little bit like a hose. Like if you have a hose out in the garden and you pinch that hose, then you're going to cut off the water. Well, it's kind of the same thing here. You're going to cut off those nervous system signals. And you can see where also, if you have these other roots coming through here, in between like the rib cage and the scapula and any of those other places, then you're going to have many opportunities to cut off those roots. And so the chiropractor will go ahead and they will help you align the nervous system. Align the skeletal system so that it's not disrupting the nervous system, so that the nervous system can act the best way that it can in order to help all your body's functions and processes. But what we have is we have the muscular system. And the muscular system is what controls where your skeletal system stays. And so that is where integrated restorative movement therapy picks up. So we pick up on saying, okay, well, let's go ahead and support what the chiropractors have done. And we will get the muscles in order to help out with this job. And the second concept that we're going to talk about is that of the fascia. Fascia was long thought to be it's called connective tissue, which is just another name for it. And it was long thought to be just kind of connecting everything together. Well, it turns out that it also contributes into sending signals to the nervous system about how the body is holding itself. And while the muscles start and stop, let's say between here and here, you'd have a muscle starting and stopping. The fascia that goes around that muscle does not start and stop. It's continuous. And we see where this fascia is continuous in certain parts. Certain parts connect a little bit more than other parts. For instance, we'll see that the back of the legs, all the way up the spine, that's one part that connects all together. Then we have the front, going all the way down the abdominals and what the quads do. All of those things. And we have the abdominals here connecting with the pecs. And so this is how we end up transferring tension from one part of the body into another. That's called a referral. And so this is another concept that we consider heavily when we are working with somebody's movement and applying the correct interventions in order to alleviate the restriction and improve the movement. All right, and the third concept that we're going to talk about here is the concept of complex balancing. What does that mean? Well, it means that every area of the body is a complex. All the muscles in a singular area have to act together in a certain ratio. The nervous system has to act with the muscles in a certain ratio in order to get them to do a certain job correctly. And so we need to look at those complexes and make sure that they're working right. And so right here, we might look at the lumbo-pelvo-hip complex, and we'll look at the glutes, and we'll look at the glute medius here, and then we'll look at the way that these deep muscles down here, like the piriformis, are functioning, and then we'll look at the hamstrings, and we'll look at the IT bands, which aren't showing right now. Oops. Yeah, we'll look at the IT bands, and we'll look at all of that to make sure that all of these muscles are working the way that they're supposed to work. Because if they are restricted, or if they're not firing right, or if there's something going on with them, then they're going to pull us out of alignment, and we're going to end up getting pain because of that. That might cause pain in the complex, or it might cause a postural pattern that affects everything up the body's chain, going into that chiropractic concept that we were talking about. And so all of these concepts work together with each other, and that is what we consider when we're working with somebody's body from a concept point of view.